Ask the men to do what I wouldn't do myself.
All right, men. We're going. I want you all to remember who you are. You're the 10th Light Horse. Men from Western Australia. Don't forget it.
Hey team, how we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and this is going to be a casual conversation by the fire as the tempo of the flames spread through the logs, socially information of this session into the brain, the heart, the soul of the guys and gals who are watching this right now. The information video, the mini seminar, if you will. This is the former veteran senior NCO letting you know that what you may not get told, what you may not hear, what you may not be able to find online is waiting for you. As step 2 of the enlistment process into the Australian Army, the footsteps of the Anzacs, the best small army in the world. So listen in, buckle in. Team, you're going to turn up. You know by now with your aptitude test whether you've unlocked a ability to go into a higher technical role, to go into an area of leadership, to go into a direct entry commando position. Be careful with that one. And from there, you're also going to know what you've unlocked academically with the aptitude test in accordance with your results, which can be done again and again for a maximum of 3 times with 6 months in between. So that's you session out the way. Here you are today with this hair growing longer and longer like a mane that we can't wait to cut off after we find you a viable candidate for the Australian Army. Team, let me stop here for a moment just to send out a thank you in advance for what you're about to do. Whether you're watching the video, whether you have your assessment session tomorrow. As the father of a daughter who one day you could be protecting from the menace abroad or domestically, as a previous ADF member, as a current veteran of the Australian Defence Force, thank you for having a pluck, for having a go, for stepping forward and saying, I feel like as part of my calling, it is time to put action behind words, to put bicep behind fingers, behind a pen, to put my signature in the place that matters, and follow the footstep of the Anzacs. You're going to turn up. The people that you're turning up with are likely to be in the platoon, the muster, that you will join the army with, unless you come from Tasmania, and that's going to look like there's a lot more people because everyone's got DOS heads. I might leave this and I might not. Anyway, you turn up, you're going to be met again by either a civilian or a Navy, Air Force or Army recruit administrator who's going to sit you down and they're going to let you know what today is all about. Make no mistake, today is not to do you favours. Today is not to be your friend. Today is to have a cordial conversation with you, a candid chat, and to medically, attitudinally, and psychologically screen you for anything that may have you John West rejects a non-viable candidate for the Australian Army, whether that be temporary, requiring an appeal, or whether that be permanent, do not ever apply again. So what I also want to do is point out to you, before you get the green light or the red light, is that there is nothing personal in the disqualification of people that do not make it. Not everyone can make it. This is not like normal HR, and it better not ever get that way, because we're talking about lives here. You may have components, factors, things that you cannot change about you, but you might still have all of the other things, the tenacity, okay, the will, the wish, the history in your family to be there. But that's not always enough. You need to be able to hold the shield up for the guy or gal beside you. This is a disqualification assessment. No pen on paper from you. This is all about medical, and it's about psychological, And it's about screening. It's about disqualification. So what are some of the grounds you can be told no for? Maturity, yep, come back in another year. Physicality, right? Your body might not be mature enough yet. The scaffolding able to take the pack. It might be your weight, it might be your BMI. There's also psychologically. You may be psychologically not prepared or not understand what you're getting in for, where you might be given do not apply or come back in 1 year. So now would be an appropriate time to press subscribe. Become part of the Australian channel that is here to guide you, to mentor you to your success. Do that now. Ask me questions in comments. You might be told medically that there is something you did not know, were not aware of about yourself that we have picked up with medical examination, whether that be asthma, whether that be back, scoliosis, something there, whether it be eyesight, whether it be hearing, whether it be colorblind, whether it be bad back, did I say that, whether it be a hernia, whether that be allergies, whether that be flat feet, whether it be depression, anxiety. There's a whole bunch of things that may preclude you from service in the Australian Army or Defence Force, including Navy and Air Force, so to speak. The way it's going to work is there's a conversation component, but that's going to come after the medical, and it's going to come after the psychological screening. So the medical is going to be a physical examination by medical personnel that are going to search you for those said things. Flat feet, take your shoes off, let me see your back, bend over. Hope he's not Navy. What I want you to do is duck walk. What I want you to do is feel these cold hands and cough so I can feel for a hernia. I'm going to look at your coit to make sure there's nothing hanging out, excess baggage, none extra. All right? There's going to be a urine test. There could be a blood test. Those things can also test for barbiturates, drugs, etc. There's going to be a psychological screening where you're going to get asked questions. You need to be able to answer these. Some of those questions are, why do you want to join the Army? Right? What do you want to do in the Army? What does your family think about you being in the Army? And friends and teachers, because that tells them gut instinct that people believe in you. Do you have any history of anxiety, depression, etc.? And they should be see you laters from there as well. Disqualifying factors. There could be, have you taken drugs? If there is nothing on your record, this is not a confession session. Do not overshare. Right? This is not the police force. What are some good qualities and some bad qualities about yourself, with more emphasis being on bad qualities, so we can make sure that you don't have a personality trait like narcissism, etc., sociopath, that means that you are unable to take direction, commands from others, that you are unable to be discriminative against your own downfalls, whether that be personality, whether it be trait, whether it be physicality. There's going to be other questions that are going to be straight at you. You're going to realise you're in the realm of adults now. We don't care about your feelings. And if the feelings come out, then chances are you're going to get yourself disqualified. John West just rejected. Now, some of those questions may be things like, because I'm not here to give you a script, team, could be things like, what do you think, regardless of the core you're going for, of the thought process that you may have to take the life of another human being? We are not ambulance. We are not here to help. We are here to hurt. We are to prevent and provide protection to Australia, allies, infrastructure, and the mission. Are you willing to protect that with your trigger finger, whether it be right or whether you're retarded and have a left finger that does that instead? Never trust left-handed people. Freaks. Anyway, who you are right now may not understand the mechanical requirements to think in a way that you can give a straight answer. But what I can tell you is there is an expectation that you have thought about this. If you are too hungry for that answer, yeah, hope I get a chance to get some, yeah, they might think immaturity's coming in, come back in a year or not at all. If you're asking me if I could take the life of another human being, well, based on who I am right now, do I have any ambition to do so? And the answer would be no. But I understand that I'm getting in the Army. I understand that weapons and learning how to fight is an all soldier skill qualification. I never know where I'm going to be with my brothers and sisters I'm serving with when the time comes where I might be the person that has to make the decision with minimum amount of time, amount of information to be able to carry out that task. And if that's the case and it's for the welfare of the mission, etc., I'm sure all the training between now and that point is going to prepare me mentally, physically, psychologically to be able to do just that. My answer is yes, I'm looking forward to the training that prepares me to be a different person, a better version than me. I have no problems with it. I don't have anything that says to me, no, I could never do that. So I guess the answer is yes. They'll go, that's a long way about saying yes, you could do it. But you don't want to look like you're a psycho and excited about the prospect of taking the life of another human being that again may be fighting as an extension of a failed diplomatic message from someone from their country. Remember, you may be engaging against another father, another brother, another son who doesn't actually have your harm as his motivation, but he might be there to achieve mission success like you. You've got to be prepared to say, not today, my mate. So that's a question I'm going to ask you. Be prepared to answer it. Once all this is out the way, remembering at any stage of this you can be told you haven't made it past this portion of the assessment session, then there is the chance that you will have now an interview saying either one, that you have been selected for further training in either officer selection, trade selection, which has ROSOs, return of service obligation, whether you have the chance or you've been told that you'd be a good candidate for commando direct entry. Don't be in a hurry to go on that. It's a very, very hard and treacherous path. Or it might even be something like pilot, officer, etc. You will know by the end of this. And then the end of the assessment session, if you were told you were still a viable candidate, the only thing that stands between you and enlistment date, a contract for a role within the Australian Army, Air Force, Navy, is the PFA, which is what we're going to talk about next video. So this information, I hope that it is enough to assist you. I hope you've enjoyed the fire, the candid conversation, the almost Where's Wally attire from your local military mentor, understanding I am in the corner. I'm not here to give you a script, but I'm here to prepare you for what comes next. So, in summary, turn up like it's a job interview. Right, have a cup of coffee, be social with those around you who are going to further be brothers and sisters. You might get a tidbit of information you need to know. From there, learn how to have pauses, maybe even rehearse the questions you think that you're going to be asked. Why do you want to join the army? Well, I just feel like I have a calling. Use those words, a calling. It goes a long way, and it tells people that you have something in common with the person who's sitting on the other side of the desk, who's looking, talking, conversing, preparing you to come and be their brother, sister, in arms, in uniform, the last frontier. You're making a big step. You're future-proofing your career. You're creating a legacy, and it's not just you. At this stage, you're bringing your family, your friends, your new brothers, your new sisters into a tighter group, because everyone will be affected by your area of influence. And if they're not a believer now, they will be when you start training hard. Because as soon as you get told in the assessment stage, yep, you're looking good still, then you need to, like Conor McGregor, get down in the push-up position and then start training to get army fit, soldier fit, not civilian fit. Fit in what? Fit in clothes, no big deal. And the next video will assist you on that. You're joining them, they're not joining you. Don't come in there with demands. And remember, it is a dictatorship and you are going to be uncomfortable at times. But we will make you the best version of you. See you later, my future brothers and sisters. Mucho respecto. Now I'm going to go and take it easy. That's Kaz in the trenches. Assessment session. Done. Good luck. See you later.
Yes, I believe.